the potentially hazardous materials present in the workplace. Dental laboratories that import or manufacture chemical products and materials are required to assess these chemicals for physical and health hazards and develop material and safety data sheets for them. The second involves the use of the Material Safety Data Sheet, or MSDS. One must be on file for each potentially hazardous material present in the workplace. The third step entails the use of warning labels. Employers must ensure that all hazardous materials, including those that have been repackaged or transferred to another container or storage bin, are fully and appropriately labeled. The fourth step requires that an employer establish an ongoing written hazard communication program, which will necessarily involve having an MSDS proper labeling and listing of all known hazardous materials in the workplace available to employees. The fifth and final step is to conduct regular employee training sessions. To meet this requirement, an employer must provide education and training for each employee assigned to a job having a potential exposure to hazardous chemicals. The potential hazards in a dental laboratory environment are more numerous than you might think. One of the most common health hazards is methylmethacrylate, a flammable liquid that can be poisonous if inhaled or absorbed through the skin. It may irritate or burn the skin and eyes, and vapors may cause dizziness or suffocation. But with proper ventilation and appropriate material handling procedures, it can be used safely. Likewise, the potential hazard posed by another common laboratory material, silica dust, can be greatly reduced through proper safety procedures, including the use of appropriate vacuum or suction systems. It's easy to meet the first step to compliance. Just use the chemical inventory forms included in the NADL Hazard Communication Manual. They're simple to fill out, with spaces for product name, chemical name, manufacturer name, and other pertinent information. These forms are a convenient way to maintain records of your hazardous materials, the basis of good record keeping. The second major step to compliance is to use the Material Safety Data Sheet, the form that helps you identify the health hazards you work with. You will need one for each hazardous chemical or material, identifying the chemical or its trade name. If you do not have an MSDS for a hazardous substance in your workplace, you should request a copy from the chemical manufacturer, distributor, or importer as soon as possible. Section 1 of the MSDS lists the name, address, and emergency phone number of the manufacturer, distributor, importer, or company that prepared it, and the date it was prepared. Section 2 of the MSDS will list the hazardous ingredients of a chemical, unless trade secret protection is claimed. Legally enforceable exposure levels for many chemicals have been established and are expressed as 8-hour time-weighted averages, abbreviated TWA. From this, OSHA has established the amount of a given material that a person may legally be exposed to during an 8-hour workday. These values are called permissible exposure limits, or PELs, and will be listed along with other permissible limits on the MSDS.